Hi Kunal, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks, Davidata, for having me in.
We can begin with your introduction.
I'm currently working in Microsoft for more than 2 years right now. I have overall 14 years of experience. I've played various roles, starting from BA to product specialist to consultant, and now product manager since last more than 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, that's about me. I like providing kind of a knowledge or giving mentoring sessions to PM aspirants because I feel that I was in the same boat a couple of years back. So that's why I like to help the aspirants. Apart from that, I also like cycling. So which is predominantly something which I do over the weekend. And I also fan of couple of Hindi and English movies. That's also another chat which we can have, and we can have another podcast on that.
Yes, absolutely. I also love cycling. So, Kunal, coming to your job role, what is a product manager according to you? And if you can go through some key matrices in your industry, what your outlook is on PM as a role?
Yeah, so I think it's a very broad question. What PM role, according to me, it is like product manager role is like anything and everything that deals with ideating the product and executing the product at the same time, and also keeping all the partners and stakeholders together in this journey, right? So the PM role is essentially, if you see, it's a kind of a bridge between customer, business, and development. And we must have seen that kind of unification in that particular three bubbles, right?
Right.
It involves understanding the market needs, which is a very, very famous diagram, right? So maybe that particular answer like sounds very cliche, but all the good things are cliche. It involves like understanding the market needs predominantly, defining product vision, empathizing with customers, identifying the pain points and challenges predominantly. And from the pain points and challenges, you can define like what all job to be done scenarios which you would really want to target. And from there, you can define the use cases. And once you define the use cases, you can identify like these are the predominantly points or sub features or features that which I really wanted to target on, right? So in this particular journey, if you see, right, there are like at every stage there would be some metric which gets involved and also which gets tracked at every level, right? So there is not one definite metric. I would say there are multiple metrics, I would say, and we have that pirate metric predominantly, which is like awareness, acquisition, activation, engagement, retention, and monetization. But if you see at every level, if you see like when your product is very new, I think it would be good to create an awareness. If your product is already in the market at the very beginning of the product at this point of time, then it would be good to know like how many visitors got converted into a regular user, right? And from there we can able to track the activation numbers, predominantly daily active users, daily monthly users, weekly active users, so and so forth, right? And from there, once the product is active, it's available in the hands of users, then it would be good to track the engagement. So engagement is nothing but like how much is the retention, how much freemium users converted into paid users, right? And then then we can track the satisfaction score, and then the monetization aspect, like which is nothing but average revenue per user, average revenue per paid user, average revenue per daily active users, average revenue
Right.
per weekly active users, so and so forth, right? So annual recurring revenue, lifetime value, customer lifetime value, which is also one of the metric which we follow at all. And many a times in the interview also, like you will be asked this question, like what one metric which you focus for a specific product. At a very high level, you can look at customer lifetime value, but it also depends like which phase the product is in, right? It is in the beginning phase, it is in activation phase, it is in engagement phase. The product is already very much available in the market, so we are looking at a retention number. Our product is already matured, right? And also, above all, these all are like the statistical metric, right? But there is one metric which is very important, is predominantly on the satisfaction score, right? Which we track it using the Likert scale, in how much you are satisfied with the product, right? And how you can refer to your friend, family, and colleague. So there is a NPS score, and also there is an that's satisfaction score as well, right? And
Right.
also, like, one of the metric which I noticed very recently, which is mind blowing for me, that what if this product is not there? That's a reverse of NPS in a way, right? So there are a lot of new metrics are coming up in the market. Coming back to the question, what PM role, according to me, I think it is evolving into more strategic and a cross-functional position as technology is advancing. Like, I remember the journey from like full stack technology stack to cloud computing and to metaverse and now to AI. I think PM role is continuously evolving and changing. So PM will need to adapt to changing market dynamics,
Right. Right.
knowing the application of emerging technologies like generative AI, and also evolving customer preferences, right? So future prospect of PMs are really bright, I would say, not because I am a PM, but I see that there is a lot of demand and there is a lot of problems which PMs can solve in coordination with engineers and all, right? So
Right.
it's an increasing recognition which is coming up from the industry, not only in the tech part but across like many other industries, right? And I
Right.
talk to like so many aspirants over here coming from various industries, and they also have their own way of like curating the product manager role. So it is basically driving the business success predominantly in terms of like value generation, and also the organization sees the PM role as a kind of a value enablers, value generators. Sorry
Yeah.
for the long answer, but I think
This is absolutely.
you asked two questions in the one question, right? So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's a very comprehensive answer. So, Kunal, coming to product managers, you have seen a lot of product managers. So, what do you think successful product managers have? What traits, if you can point out few?
if we get into the shoe of a PM predominantly, right, it is very critical for understand. It always starts with empathy with the customer, right? So it's very critical and it's very essential for a PM to get into the shoe of a customer and to understand and feel their situation and pain and explore the happy path scenarios, right? So scenario, when I say happy path, is nothing but a user journey. Customer empathy is like pivotal in product manager success. Okay, so that's first and foremost, right?
Right.
Understanding the user's need, pain points, what he feels, what he believes, what he the challenges with what he faced, and what he's hearing from his colleagues, or what is what they are exploring in the market, what they are searching in the market. It's also very important, right?
Right.
So for a PM, it is very important for him to, or the PM to know what user feels, what user thinks, right? So through empathy, like product manager can grasp the user experience holistically. Okay, and driving the decision aligned with the customer centric goals, right? So that customer obsession, customer empathy is first, customer obsession is another one, which is predominantly driving the customer centric goals. And then exploring the customer empathy and customer obsession, taking it to the next level, understanding like how we can segment the pain points and challenges into a very intuitive, interactive way to create a job to be done scenarios predominantly,
Right.
which turned into use cases and user stories, right? So that's the third aspect, which comes predominantly on the execution bit, right?
Right.
The first two are predominantly on the strategic aspect. The product execution is very key, right? Once you
Right.
define the pain points, challenges, everything into job to be done scenarios, use cases, user stories, and everything, right?
Right.
And also then from there, it to need to identify and understand like, okay, what could be my go to market strategy? How we can craft the solutions? How I can solve this particular challenge? So these are like 4 5 things in top of my mind. But in
Right.
order for answering this particular thing in kind of a bullet format, maybe I would say starting with maybe just to summarize, maybe the empathy towards users and stakeholders. Okay, analytical and critical thinking abilities, where we can identify the pain points and convert them into user stories and all. Leadership and influence. And again, one's very like very non cliche in the market is predominantly influence without authority. But yes, it is very much available there in the market. Like it is very evident in the market, right? Adaptability and willingness to learn. The continuous learning approach is very important, and strategic mindset and vision for the product. That are the like 5 things which I can think may help to become a better PM.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah.
it is not limited to 5. It may be many, but on a high level, these are the 5 elements.
This is a good assortment of tangible and intangible actionable items, I feel. Coming to your journey, can you briefly take us through your journey to becoming a senior product manager, your interview experience, any anecdotes, and how your degree, which you did, helps you in day to day?
My journey on becoming a PM is involved the mixture of the experience, I would say, continuous learning, and also definitely education. I think the certificate degree which I did from IMNDA. So I'm a production engineer, but I went into a manufacturing company. I was selling the manufacturing equipments after, just immediately after my engineering. And then I got into an MBA college. I did my MBA, and then I joined one of the service company, Infosys, and there I worked predominantly on the consultant part. And that was like 10, 12 years back. I would say 12 years back. Uh, but there, like, I understood the nuances of like how to be customer centric. It was a very initial era of getting into product management, and I'm talking about 2011, 2012. So during my early career, like I gained experience in I gained experience as a consultant, or I would say business analyst predominantly, which helped me understanding the different aspects of business, technology, stakeholder management, collaboration, in negotiation, influence, and working as a team without leading the team, right? From there, when I transitioned into product management, I thought maybe PM kind of a subset of BA, but I then it my understanding was like other way around. I think PM is a very big subset, and then we have like sub elements towards it, right? So transitioning into product management involved a lot of problem solving skills predominantly, right? So you are here to solve the problem, pain points, ability to think strategically, identifying, categorizing the users into personas, and within the personas also there are a lot of cohorts and everything, right? Then understanding the market dynamics during interviews predominantly, conducting the interviews. As a B, also you used to conduct a lot of workshops and interviews and all, but as a PM, the dimension differs, right? The lens differs, right? Here you are now more responsible for only understanding or changing the business process, but here you are changing the how user will going to feel, touch, react
Their journey.
to the problem. Yeah, exactly. So the program which I did from IIM Indore in 2020, 2021 helped me understanding that a lot of nuances on product management, which I manage right now. But it was an hands-on experience predominantly in my previous company in Shell and also in Microsoft, which helped me creating the meaningful impact that ultimately where I'm right now. Maybe from the interview point of view, also, like I would say the couple of skills which I already mentioned in the previous question, right? That holds true. But also, like within like 5 to 7 minutes, you will be given some scenario and you will be asked question, and you it all depends like how uh, compelling you are in answering your question, how
Right.
good you are at storytelling, how good you are at like creating, understanding the ambiguous scenario, funneling it down, asking clarifying questions, and keeping and creating the boundary of the answer, and then giving the to the point answer. Right? It's not easy. It's very very complicated. It's very something which you have to learn to understand. Right? Now, for example, if someone will ask you to create a rocket, right? You first clarifying question should be what it is, a toy rocket or it's a man-made rocket, or like I mean without human, or like what we are talking about, right? So there are a lot of nuances which goes into that aspect as well, right? But apart from that, like these are not the questions which need to be asked, but you will be asked a couple of like industry specific questions, and there you have to be very succinct, and you have to be precise, and provide create a boundary. So for those like who are listening to this, what I would suggest is like identify whenever you will be given a scenario, ask couple of clarifying questions, not too many, but a couple of clarifying questions to understand like what is the goal of the question. It is a user engagement, it is a revenue is the goal, it's problem solving is the goal, what is the goal? And once you know that, then for every step, like take 30 seconds and try to understand like what you really wanted to answer, right? And never jump onto the solution, and come to the solution when you are already clear with like first 4 5 aspects of the question, right? So there are certain methods which I follow in which I followed back in during the interview days. I would certainly say that I would recommend And the Lewis Lin's circle method is very important for anyone to understand, apply, and also able to concise in 5 to 7 minutes of answer. So circle stands for like asking clarifying questions, then identify the customer, then cut through the prioritization, report customers' need, listing solutions, evaluate trade-offs, summarize, so on and so forth. Right? So the circle method is very important.
Coming to some definitive skills for product management, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so when you say skills, right, I would categorize the skills in two parts. One is the hard skills and one are the soft skills, right? So definitely you need to work on the hard skills, and also you need to work on soft skills. So let me go with hard skills first, right? So hard skills are predominantly and hard skills I will define in like the four different subcategories. One is technical, one is product, one is business, and another one is industry knowledge predominantly, right? Market research knowledge and all. So within technical, when you are, and I presume that if you are working in a kind of a product domain, so basically you need to understand the couple of technology related skills, which are nothing but like understanding the database, understanding API, application programming interface, understanding the full stack technology components, predominantly that how the mobile application works and how the website works, and also knowing like how these things are getting executed. So maybe you might not be part of the agile scrum methodology and everything, but you need to know like how it works. These are predominantly in the technical subcategory. The another thing in the technical subcategory which I can think of is basics of design and basics of data analysis, right? So in basics of design, you need to understand like how good you have to prepare, how intuitive this particular app has to be from the effectiveness and efficiency point of view, right? How much time it should take, maybe moving from one page to another page, so and so forth. And from the data analysis point of view, it's very important for PM to create a matrix for their own product. Okay, so what all metrics which we have discussed in very first question, I think he could able to curate, and he could able to curate it on his own without having a dependency from the engineers predominantly, right? So technical category is a subcategory within the hard skills. Another category, subcategory is business. When you know, you need to understand the market research, you need to understand the you need to create a competitor analysis, and creating the product market fit, which is also very important in the business subsection, and also creating a go to market strategy. So these are all very very important for a PM to have that hard skill, to learn this hard skill, to apply, and also to execute. This is on the business as a second subcategory. The third subcategory is product category. Within product category, defining the product vision, creating the product roadmap, dating the feature roadmap, conducting the customer research, maybe through interview, focus group, creating different cohorts and everything, and experimentation and metrics predominantly, like creating kind of different versions of the same page, like A/B testing and everything, right? So
Right.
these are predominantly the product related skills which need to have. And the last subcategory within the hard skills is industry knowledge, industry analysis. So you know, all the SWOT analysis, Porter's five forces, pestle analysis. Like these are predominantly on the strategic side, but again, it boils down to knowing your product better than anyone else, right? So this is predominantly which I would call it in the hard skills part. On soft skills, I would say communication is very important. The art of storytelling is also very important. Empathy, I guess we have used this word a lot in this particular podcast, but
Yes.
empathy is very important. Decision making and also problem solving. And a PM has to be, I would say, PM has to be a very astute thinker in terms of like leading negotiations, leading the conversation and everything, right?
Hmm.
So to upskill, now these are the basics of like basic hard skills and soft skills which you predominantly ask. But maybe just to answer this question from upskilling point of view for PMs, I would say continuous learning has to be very essential. Like, so if you see like any specific PM, you will find one quality, which is like he's a continuous learner. So this could involve maybe attending workshops, attending courses, reading relevant books, articles, networking with other PMs, which you are already doing, and also seeking mentorship. Right? It's not only being a mentee you will learn, but also being a mentor you will learn, because then you will understand like what all different things are going on in the market right now. Right? So they're just like definite skills for PM to have it. Uh,
Got it.
I think, when they get into this particular role.
Got it, Kunal. Coming to a different point in my mind, if someone wants to get into product management, how advisable it is from your point of view that they join a nascent startup?
Like, if I may ask, like, you are basically saying that
If someone wants to
how
join,
it is advisable for
yeah,
him to
yeah,
join
yeah,
a startup or not, right? Okay,
right,
okay, got it. So I would say, like, it depends on the product to product. Um, uh, and also I would say joining a startup can be a great way to have a hands-on experience on wearing multiple hats, and also able to pull off kind of a future delivery and everything, knowing the 360-degree about everything, right? It offers, like, I think what I would say, startup offers kind of a learning curve predominantly, which is quite evident and which is quite interesting for a new PM to get into that particular area of product management, right?
right,
It also gives a kind of a really good exposure to various aspects of product management, right? So when you say, like, what are the different aspects of product management, so there are multiple things, right? There is a customer success, there is a product development, then there is a technical aspects, then there are a kind of a pre-sales related areas, so and so forth, right?
right,
So it gives a various exposure of product management. He can talk to architects, engineers, and understand, like, what all challenges they are having. Like, maybe of providing a PRD, or product requirement document, may not be enough, right? A PM has to work very closely with engineer to get this particular thing done, right?
right,
So, and also an opportunity to make a significant impact early on in his career, to his or her career, predominantly to know how things evolve over the time, and how what all different elements required uh, to have a one feature delivery. And also I would say, for a PM, it's not only the one feature delivery matters. It's a continuous evolution of the feature which converts into a kind of a product, and that product will continuously evolve, right?
right,
So and also it comes with a lot of challenges predominantly, right? So, such as, like, living in ambiguity predominantly, having multiple uncertainty, having limited resource, and also a very high pressure, stressful situation as well. Because ultimately it depends on individual's career goals, knowing his risk appetite, and
mm,
also the learning preferences, right? So these are, like, a couple of things which I say, like, these are the pros and cons predominantly for anyone to get into a startup, right?
yeah,
And also there are, like, if you see, there are multiple factors which everyone has to go through, right? Like, who manages the PNL in enterprise, and who manages PNL in startup? Who manages the releases in enterprise, and who manages release in and the startup? So
right,
there are, like, so many factors which we have discussed, starting from understanding the product aspect, understanding the user aspect, understanding the different execution aspects, understanding the PNL aspects, and understanding the release cycle aspect. And in startup, I think learn fast, fail fast is a kind of a very easy thing. And now I think enterprises are also getting into that particular thing. Uh, they cannot match to startup because there is a lot of stake involved in that. But I think they will eventually be there in order for to have to have that particular learn fast, fail fast approach. Yeah.
got it. So, Kunal, coming to mindset in product management, designing mindset versus a technical mindset, which one is more adept for this role according to you?
So having a marketing mindset and the technical mindset, right? I think what I would say, the product mindset is very important. Having the sense of product, what I would say, product sense, building the product sense is very important, which involves marketing mindset and technical mindset as well. But I will answer to your question. But before that, just would like to touch upon the product mindset part first. So now, product mindset is nothing but providing a kind of a holistic approach to delivering value to the customer, which involves prioritization, continuous evolution, data-driven decisions, and also very important part is customer delight. Right. So it
Right,
focuses rather on outcomes rather than output, and it measures a success predominantly by the value they create by being a value enabler for users and to the business. Product sense is very, very important. It solves the need for the users predominantly in a timely manner, right? Now, answering your question, from having within product sense, right, having the marketing sense and having the technical sense, like, both are really very important, I would say, and both can be equally critical and equally essential for developing the product sense. But what matters predominantly is ability to manage parallel, both giving the same importance, right? And learning to uh, view or analyze the challenges from the both lens. It's very important. Let me take an example. So a marketing mind brings understanding the customer need. Okay,
Mm.
knowing the sense of customer, knowing the pulse of customer, understanding like what my competitors are doing, understanding the strategies, like what's happening in the market right now. But look at the technical aspect, right? So marketing might not dictate what technological challenge might going to come, right?
Mm.
But technology might brings insight into product feasibility, development process, innovations possibilities, desirability. Part is something which marketing mind can provide. Technical mind can provide. Technical product sense can provide a feasibility aspect of it,
Mm.
right? So desirability, feasibility is very important when you are identifying that which feature I really will have to build, right?
Right.
And in terms of prioritization as well, right? So I would say for ideal PM, the combined elements from both worlds and being able to translate this jargon into customer value is very important.
Right.
But on top of everything, building a product sense. Okay, you might be having so many apps in your phone right now. Look at one app, understand how that particular app has been developed, understand how the intuitive that particular product is, look at how intuitive that product is. Maybe let's say take an example of Amazon, Zomato, and everything, right? So how intuitive it has been developed, right? What's the user journey it is like, how much time it takes in completing one transaction predominantly, right? So uh, developing the product sense, I would say, is very important, and equally balancing marketing sense and technical sense. Yeah.
Yeah, got it, got it. Most of the questions are done. Coming to the end of this podcast, thing I would like to ask, what is your advice for aspiring PMs who are watching this video?
Yeah, so I think you have asked all the right questions, Devita, and really kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
So my advice to aspiring PMs is have a continuous learning approach, creating a networking approach, like which is like one way of like we got connected now. Understand the challenges. Never stay away from the challenges predominantly, and understanding like what all. Learn to live in ambiguity. Have a mindset of seeking feedback.
Mm.
And very proactive in your expanding the skill set. So
Right.
my example, like I was not a kind of a technical person a couple of years back, but I started learning the technical nuances, and right now I'm like working in a kind of a technical product right now. Never stop yourself on expanding the skill set. So these are the like 6, 7 things which I can think of like may help the aspiring PMs who are watching this video. And first and foremost, like building strong relationship with cross-functional teams in terms of collaboration, stakeholder management, negotiation, influence, and everything is very essential in product management. And most importantly, I would say stay passionate about solving the user problem and driving the positive change through delivering, building very intuitive and interactive products. So yeah, I think these are the enough advice which I can give. Yeah.
That's a lot of tangible, actionable advices which you gave. Coming to the end, thank you, Kunal, for giving me your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Devidita. Yeah.